Welcome to another episode of Epic Gamer Dad Game Reviews. On today's review, we're going to take a look at Tmnt Tournament Fighters on the SNES. This game was developed by Konami and was released on September 4th of 1993. Tmnt Tournament Fighters had a lot of Street Fighter II Turbo elements in it, and I mean, why not? If the formula works, don't change it. In order for this game to succeed, it needed to come out like a wrecking ball, because there was already an all-star fighting game lineup. The fighting game genre was dominated by none other than Super Street Fighter II Turbo and Mortal Kombat 2, just to name a few. I remember as a young kid, the only place in town that had this game was Hollywood Video. For some of you, may have never heard of the franchise, but it was a lot like Blockbuster. Here are some shorts that I found. Let's check them out.
Now you can rent all new releases or anything else for 5 days.
Really?
Yeah, so you can just enjoy it at your own pace. At other video stores, you only get 1 day on new releases. So you can't enjoy it because you're too worried about getting it back on time. And then you gotta fly out the door in order to get to the video store before it closes. And the clock is ticking, the phone is ringing, the late fees are piling up so high.
He's really into special effects.
Only Hollywood Video has Star Wars The Phantom Menace for 5 days, so you can watch it again and again. Welcome to Hollywood Video.
Hi, could you tell us a little bit about this movie?
Don, we need you up here.
Someone is taking their love of sequels one step too far. Someone doesn't want the terror to end. From Dimension Home Video, Scream 2, rated R.
That was real nice, Don.
Scream 2, guaranteed in stock.
Oh man, the 90s commercials, they were so corny. Oh well, I hope that didn't scare you too bad. Our particular Hollywood Video in my hometown was located in a grocery store. It was low-key ghetto, but they always had stuff you couldn't find in the Blockbuster, which made this place pretty exciting to go to. After I begged my mom to death, she let me rent Tmnt Tournament Fighters. This game changed the way I felt about tournament fighting games to this day. It blossomed my love for tournament fighters all the way into Dead or Alive, future Mortal Kombat games, Soul Calibur, and those just name a few, and my love for all those games were founded on this one little gem that I found. So after I ran home, I popped this bad boy into my Super Nintendo, and you instantly see the Konami logo. Then you're greeted with the menu, and it's loaded with options like Tournament, Verse Battle, Story Battle, Watch, and Option. The Tournament option is straight up arcade style. You jump right in and start the button mashing. It's you versus the computer. Then you have Verse Battle, where you go to head with a buddy and show your button smashing dominance. Then there is Story Battle. Story Battle, well, it's a story arc blended from the arcade version, so you can still go from match to match, but it has a loosely written storyline that is tied with it. The story is visualized through cutscenes. And of course, the storyline is the all-new, never-thought-of April O'Neil and Splinter getting kidnapped, because we could never come up or perceive a plot like that ever happening over and over and over again. Peach, you need to sit this one out. Let O'Neil do her job. After you spend an hour or two of getting your butt kicked, you get the good old option of Watch Mode. Take a break and recover from the mental abuse in which you just endured. In Watch Mode, you can choose who fights and where they fight. After that, the computer takes over, so grab a bucket of popcorn and your favorite soda, watch your favorite characters pummel each other. And if you watch closely, it will actually show you which moves you need to use in order to defeat each different character. For example, if you choose Leo, his fighting patterns change to whomever he's fighting. It will show you what combos you need to do in order to win. It especially helps when you're playing the tournament or story battle modes. The combos you have learned will help you overcome, maybe if you're lucky, because you'll need all the luck you can get. I'm gonna have to say that the biggest hit on this game up front is that it's super hard. I can beat Super Street Fighter II Turbo on medium, and with some moderate stress in the last 2 fights. This game I can set the difficulty to 0, and the computer has a better blocking tactic than the Pentagon. I would say the hardest fighter up to this point would be Dead or Alive 4. So you can only imagine what it would do if you put it on 7, which is the hardest setting. You might as well slam your head on a rock, or be a robot in order to win. The only people I see beating this game on 7 are the ones who have played this religiously for the past 3 decades. This is one of those games where it was definitely better in my memory than it is today. I bragged about this game in the first few game reviews that I ever did. And now that I'm playing it again and over 21 years later, I didn't remember it being so darn hard. Maybe games back then were just harder in general, because I've been running into this a lot lately when I play older games. So it's not that it's a bad game, but you need to be in the mood, receive a can of whoop sauce that you are not going to serve. Before we go any further, I would like to take a second to share with you about our partners, SEU Works. Hey, are you frustrated with the education system? Is your child struggling because they are an overachiever, have special needs, or anything in between? Have you been looking for and searching everywhere for the answer and have found nothing? Well, look no further, because we're the answer. Self-education is the smart way to educate. SEU, because it works. My son uses SEU Works, and we have seen some great improvements in his life and ours. If you would like to know more, we'll have the contact information for you in the description below. Now, back to our main feature. The goods of the game. The visuals are really good for pixel art. They really did a great job in capturing this awesome side of TMNT. One thing I can say is, what is going on in the background? Yeah, that's a little weird. Anywho, the controls, they're really spot on, and they're a lot like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. For example, if you hit down forward punch, you do a shooting blast. Down back punch, you do the spinny attack. Down forward up kick, you do a different style twirl attack. It's roughly the same patterns more or less for all characters. There is not really a true combo system, which would have been great knowing how much the computer blocks. You can try to throw your opponent to overcome it, but it doesn't happen all the time. When your TGRI canister or energy bar is at max and blinking, you can do a super attack by hitting both strong attacks at once. Every special is unique to each character, and the damage ratio is different for each character as well. The audio in this game, it's pretty good. Also, in-match music is solid. It totally matches the energy of the game and adds a feel of anticipation. I mean, let's take a second to listen to this soundtrack. Wasn't that just delightful? Well, I am sure that with enough practice I would get better at this game, like any other game that I play. And we also know that it's not going to happen, because I'm lazy. Did I mention that this game is quite challenging? Well, in regards, I have found it to be super fun if you play a player that is close to your skill level. It really does have good fighting dimension. The combo physics and damage to hit point ratios are right on point. However, there are a few super moves that seem to be broken if you execute them just right. And that's because they cause insanely amount of absolute destruction when you hit them just right. Now the timing, it needs to be about as perfect as Rainbow Road on the N64 to jump half the map. I'll have that in a review at another time. So there is also 10 levels to choose from, and they all look great in their own right. This game definitely has an arcade feel, and I think that was the main idea behind the game design and adding to the story. It really gave great addition to enhancing what could be done on the home console. Hey, did I mention that pixel art? The artistic style of this game is exactly what they needed to show how they could bring the arcade into the home. Overall, this game is still a classic, and I would suggest it to anyone. This game is especially for you if you're looking for a challenge in the fighting game arena. However, in the end, there just isn't enough to keep the average gamer plugged in, especially in today's standards. There just isn't enough content in the game to counterbalance how hard the game is. There is only 2 unlockables, and I have never been able to get them. The unlockables are a super beefed out Rat King and an alternate version of Karai. The character seems to be on a totally different level, and the rewards, well, there really is none other than that. So with all this being said, I'm gonna have to give this game a solid 3 out of 5. The game has a lot going for it, but I can tell you it's not for everyone. I recently picked up a copy of this game through the Cowabunga collection. It is a direct port from the original. All aspects of the game has remained the same. I am hoping to be able to give a review of the Cowabunga collection, or at least have a live talk about the game. We'll flip a coin for that one and see what happens. In the meantime, take a look at what I got for you. Here's some cheat codes. I'll give you a link to the full set of cheat codes for every console in the description below. So I got a really important question for you. Have you played this game? And if so, what's your story with the game? I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, be a radical human, hit that like and subscribe button for my channel. It really helps. And once again, thank you for taking the time to check out another episode of Epic Gamer Dad Game Reviews. God bless, and have a great day.